That's the rule, Manny. That's the rule.
Is it really?
I don't know. I really, I really don't know. Yeah, man. Interesting DC rumor to talk about today, dealing with Black Adam. If you want, it is a potentially semi big spoiler, and it comes from a fairly reliable source, but it's not. I don't necessarily think it's I don't know. You want to talk about it? Do you know what I'm already getting at?
No idea, actually.
Okay. Do you want to get into it?
Well, I mean,
talk about it.
Unless you have something else to talk about.
Not really, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse Podcast Network, YouTube channel, and wherever you get your podcast from. Check out LRMonline.com every day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. I'm Kyle. That's Manny. We got social media information for you guys in the description boxes and in front of your eyeballs if you are watching us on YouTube. Hit the red subscribe button. Follow us on your favorite apps. Thank you so much. Please leave some reviews, thumbs up and down. Let us know what we are doing well, what we're doing wrong, what we could do better, and unless it's the opinions, we'll do our best to grow and become better. What's up, Manny? You ready for the weekend, man? I know I am.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be real frank with you. It's a really tough morning for me.
Ooh, rough.
It's sometimes not easy to work in news. Because you get really invested in stories, and you learn every detail that there is as it's developing. So while you're always hoping for the best results, sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah.
So it turned into a national story. So I guess I can quickly share it.
Sure.
A family in Merced got kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
Mother, father, uncle, 2-year-old daughter or 8-month-old daughter. I can't even remember at this point. And it's been about 2 or 3 days. And last night, literally down the street from my parents' house in Dos Palos,
wow.
they were all found dead. Rough.
I do believe they mentioned that this morning on. I don't remember if I was watching sometimes local news is with national news, but I think I did hear something happen out there, because I was like, man, that's out in the valley, that's out near Manny. Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm sorry to hear that happening so close to home, and I can see where being in the news could definitely get you invested in stories similar to like people that are parallel to a legal process. People that work in clerk's offices, people that are paralegals, not just the law enforcement and direct lawyers in cases. But yeah, man, that sucks. Thoughts and prayers for the victims and their loved ones. Yeah, it's becoming a crazy world out there for certain, which is why we seek out entertainment to escape. And is one of those things you and I haven't had to talk about recently too much, but wanting more escapism, not always wanting to revisit Earth and real problems, real things going on here, because we've got plenty of entertainment that does that. Not everything had to do it, but yeah, it's escapism, and it's an important aspect.
Yeah.
The drawback to that, working in the news side of entertainment, is of course in a completely different way, but similar as far as getting invested in the people around the projects that you're covering, the things that you're following, and that I think can cause a lot of burnout for things. You get to where there's a name attached to a project, and that name alone either raises or lowers your hopes based on past things. And it could be an actor, a writer, a director, or producer even. Yeah, it's really weird how humans can get so wrapped up in things that potentially yours of course happening closer to home, but don't really involve them. It's an interesting condition of being human. So yeah, well, I guess we could get off the wholly sad and depressing stuff and talk about this rumor. So my time to shine. Hello, fairly reliable leaker and rumor person, however you want to phrase it, tweeted out, and this is a potential spoiler for Black Adam, everyone, that Supes is back indeed. And not only is Supes back, Manny, but it's Cavill, and he's going to be wearing, whoop, my browser window did not pop up. 1 second, guys. Cavill will pop in. And where is the... Sorry, I was on the wrong thing. He will be in classic colors, is how he words it. The classic suit with Williams's score, and he says, quote, we need to talk Black Adam. I don't know if he meant we need to talk about or talk to, or just we need to talk Black Adam. So that to me sounds like a stinger scene, like a post credits or mid credits scene. I don't know, man. I mean, it kind of makes sense for what Warner Brothers Discovery has been doing, looking to kind of reset the DCEU, if you will, appeal to I guess the more traditional stories and the things that were more or I mean less divisive in some ways versus Zack Snyder's choices with the character. I don't know, man. How do you feel about Cavill coming back like Superman Returns, like Brandon Routh style or Routh style, however you pronounce it. Sorry, Brandon, great actor. What do you think, Manny?
I never felt like he got enough of a chance, even though, I mean, he did have his own film. I liked him as Superman. I know that Jace, for example, a huge Superman fan, was very unhappy with the portrayal of the character because he was portrayed so dark.
Right.
But then, like, so was everything else in the DCEU.
Well, they wanted Man of Steel very clearly. It even had Nolan as a EP on it, if I'm not mistaken. Right. If not a full producing credit, but regardless, they clearly wanted to do, hey, take the Dark Knight trilogy and do that with Superman. Like that was obviously what they were aiming for.
But they missed the point because they're two different comics for a reason. Yes. It's literally that classic saying night and day. Where Superman needs to be that like that beacon of hope
and a bright day.
Yeah, kind of. So, it's an artistic choice, and I thought Man of Steel was fine.
Fine, yeah, I can agree with fine.
And even and so some of the Krypton stuff was kind of weird, but. I like Cavill as Superman, and even in the next few movies, I thought he was okay. I particularly did enjoy in the Zack Snyder cut the way Superman comes in, and well, I mean, I guess he also did it kind of in the Whedon version of Justice League, but the Justice League does just enough to kind of hold it together, but it's not until Superman shows up that things get really turns the tide, and you realize how much they need Superman, how important he is as a character. As far as defeating that big bad main villain, Superman's the key. And I understand though that and I understand too that then that was going to lead to Superman being possessed in the same vein by Darkseid via the death of Lois Lane, which has happened in Justice, and thus creating a bigger problem, which I think would have been a phenomenal story, just because I love Injustice. The games were great, the comic books were great, and the idea of Superman as that authoritarian about there is no bigger threat in the universe than an evil Superman. So I did want to see him again. I did really want to see if maybe we can get somebody else to do a Superman, especially post Snyder. So the long answer to your question is I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him if in fact he is back. And kind of sucks that we're talking about it too. I feel like that's one of those things that I would wish that if it is true, fans were able to get excited for by watching it on screen. The same way that the marketing for Batman versus Superman decided we need to show you the entire movie in the trailer, including Doomsday.
Yeah. Good valid point. And then, like I said, it's fair to say, like I've said, this is still a rumor. Everyone has misses. LRM has had misses with some Star Wars leaks that we had published, and my time to shine could very well be wrong. It's funny that you mention Injustice. I don't know if you know this, but earlier this year, Six Flags Great America replaced its Batman the Ride Batmobile, the 80s style, with a Injustice style with the 6 wheels. It's got like 2 sets of wheels up front. Here, let me show you real quick, Manny. Let's share that. And for the audience, there we go. Yeah, so that's been replaced, and apparently they took away the classic Elfman score from the ride there. So we'll see how that goes. In Injustice.
I don't see anything.
Oh, you couldn't see it?
No, I just saw like a gray screen.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me try that again. I think maybe I shared the wrong. No, it's.
I was like, am I supposed to? I was like, am I?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Okay, there you go. That's a great face I got you frozen at, but that's the Batmobile about that ride. So not saying anything. You just jogged my memory about hearing about that. It happened earlier this year when you mentioned Injustice.
I wish we had more kind of themes like that, because I went last year to Six Flags, and I need to go back also because I haven't ridden a roller coaster in about a year, a little over a year, and B, they have now like the Wonder Woman ride at Six Flags, Magic Mountain. There we go. I kept wanting to say Discovery Kingdom.
Yeah,
but the themed area.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying just being in that themed area for DC always gets me excited. It's just cool. It's like the closest thing to it is an amusement park, but it's themed to my favorite characters, in the DC. Hell, they still have a Riddler ride, which I love.
Talking about the DC reset and them looking at all these properties differently, I'm reminded, and especially talking rumors and people with decent track records, there's a person in the industry that everyone knows and have various feelings and opinions on, but Miss Grace Randolph had broken down some rumors and things that she had heard, leaks and stuff from Warner Brothers and DC earlier this year, even late last year, I think, as well, talking about and of course this is before the big Warner Brothers Discovery deal is finalized and Zaslav takes over. You got things like, hey, we're getting a new Trinity. We're going to be dealing with Supergirl from The Flash taking over for Superman. You're gonna have Batgirl becoming the primary Bat character, and these were all things that she had mentioned. It now seems that Warner Brothers Discovery is doing something maybe even more completely different. Not only are we not getting the Batgirl movie, but bringing Cavill back in a more traditional Superman sense. I don't know, man. I don't necessarily think I don't think Grace was wrong. She's had a lot of good calls at Warner Brothers and DC in the past. Again, not perfect, but some decent calls. Even got a few Marvel things right, and there was a time when her Marvel track record wasn't the greatest. I don't know, man. How are you feeling about that? Do you think that Sasha Calle's Supergirl is in any type of danger of being relegated to just this Flash movie with Cavill coming back, or do you think the Cavill thing might be like the Batfleck thing in Aquaman and the Flash, where it's just like teasing stuff of them, and it's not really to do anything else new? What do you how do you reconcile those two? I think I used the wrong R word, but yeah.
No, I think for DC it was very important to kind of to like they said they were doing, to kind of hit that reset button, and despite some of the changes that a lot of people have found to be very egregious and very let's just say controversial. We've talked about it several times that it is a business. No, dude, stay back. No,
I am back. I know your cat.
Oh, here he comes. And I think they recognize what they have, and they've said how much they really want to invest in some of these core characters. Mm-hmm. And instead of throwing away something that really has a good base, that really has a good foundation, I think maybe they convinced. I hope that maybe they convinced them to stick around for a bit. I think that's what I'm hoping for. And it feels that way, dude. You already no, hold on. So yeah, it
life.
It feels like it would be this is kind of where they're going. They're gonna take what's good, and then we're gonna keep going, because obviously they feel strongly about Black Adam. They feel strongly about some of these other characters. So it's gonna be pretty good. This guy right here ruins my life every night, every morning. This is the only time
they always cats always want to be their cuddliest and most loving at the most
inopportune times.
Yep.
Most
inconvenient time.
And then I was looking through the internet, and a lot of people have some issues with the fact that John Williams' score would be coming back.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's like, I don't take, actually, if a lot of times when people say that the Zack Snyder stuff is the greatest, I kind of take it as a grain of salt, because that fandom is toxic to a certain level.
Some of them are. They're not as, and they're also not as big of an audience as the internet made it seem to be. But yeah, they are very, very aggressive quite often, for sure.
So it feels like, that would be closer to like the cartoons. That would be closer to the Superman of like it almost seems like the Superman. Like, if you play that,
mm-hmm.
It's Superman.
Yeah, it's like getting the Elfman Batman music, or getting the which they used into the animated series, which many people, that is their Batman, especially for people our age. That's the 89
and they did it
the animated series,
and they did it in Justice League with Elfman.
Yeah,
coming back and kind of reworking that Bat
working
theme.
it in there,
and it was cool. It was kind of cool. It worked. So I don't blame them for kind of retool if they want to kind of reuse that, because it's almost like like you were saying earlier, like the return of Superman.
Yeah, but how does that sit with Brandon Routh, like I had mentioned, the dude did the whether people want to admit it or not. Superman Returns is a Donner Superman. It was when it first came out, and it is today as well. That was the when everyone moaned and complained about how boring it was and how little action there was, and then they do the exact opposite with Man of Steel. They're like, oh, where's our Donner Superman? Where's our bright color and all of that? It's like it was a few years ago, and you guys shit all over it, and that's why you got Man of Steel, because Hollywood is not the brightest, they don't think that we are the brightest, and they were like, oh well, Dark Knight did real well, make everything dark, everything Dark Knight.
But it's the same thing. People aren't that smart either. They don't know what they want.
I said that people aren't. It's just, I said Hollywood doesn't think we are, but we aren't either.
Yeah, no. When you say Hollywood doesn't think we are, it's like, no, it's true. We a lot of people don't, because they don't know what they want. They think they know what they want, but in fact, they shit all over what they wanted a few years prior. well, yeah, because it's like you just people, they need to stick to a certain vision, and I think that returning to a brighter classic Superman would also distinguish him a little bit more from like a Black Adam, for example, who's really dark and gritty. Maybe that's what we're getting to, a little bit brighter superheroes and things of that nature. So
I think it's crap, I had a point and then I let you continue so that way I wasn't rude, and now I lost it. What was I gonna say? God, the joys of brain injury. So
no, that's also just being old.
Get bent. I turned 38 in a couple of in a few months. So.
Okay, yeah, you're really old.
I'll get Cam is older on the Cantina and Review of the Rings, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't remember. It was going to be something about people not. Oh, I remember. So you can even look at similar things as the Amazing Spider-Man and old OG like X-Men movie love. I remember the internet. I remember the hashtag give the rights back to Marvel movement. I vividly remember the box office draw of the last Spider-Man films before the MCU stuff, and all of the X-Men films after the third one, and I just man, and now people act like, oh man, we can't wait for more Sony and more Fox characters and actors and stuff to come back. People, yeah, man, we are dumb, and I'm guilty of it too in the past, and can we it's one thing if something was good and you're like, yeah, we should bring it, but if you literally railed against something and then ask for it to come back, like that it doesn't compute. It just doesn't compute. Something growing on you over time, sure, but that type of 180 to be like, Superman Returns was trash. No, we want more of that. Foxmen are trash. No, give us more Foxmen, and Amazing Spider-Man bombed in the box office. Kevin Feige had a sandwich thrown at him over. It may have been thrown after he left the room, according to Amy Pascal, but she says she threw a sandwich when he was like, "Look, Amazing 3 will fail. You should work with us." I don't know. I mean, I get some of this is young people that were younger and may not have been on the internet when these things hit, just like the prequel trilogy for Star Wars, and now they're able to be on the internet and have internet access, and maybe it wasn't as hated by the youngest in the days that it first came out. But I would also say that kids drag their parents to all sorts of things that that the parents don't necessarily want to do, and you will generally sell more tickets for things that kids do want to see because a parent's going to have to bring them. So there's at least one additional ticket, not just a youth that wants to see the film. So I don't know. I just know it's very, very strange when I hear even 30 some odd year olds talk about the things they used to hate as if they are just the best these days. Whatever. We'll be here for all of that and see how it all shakes loose. Did you see She-Hulk yet this morning? You're muted, bud.
I saw the little preview that they did with Daredevil last night.
Yeah.
And I rolled my eyes because whatever.
It was definitely overall a better episode. You guys can hear Nick and I review it on Marvel Multiverse Mayhem. Should go up later on today, if not tomorrow. But it was a little bit better of an episode. The CGI was some of the worst when she's in her business suit. They did use a lot more resources, compute power, money, time, whatever on her fancy gala dress. But the worst part about it was they made her a very, very incompetent lawyer. She makes a very, very dumb rookie mistake in not gathering evidence, even like literally gets.
Well, like,
yeah, it's
despite
rough.
I like, and my first reaction to that would have been like, yeah, you're right. She should be better, but she's dealing with quite a lot.
No, dude. When you see this, it is so like it goes to that thing I was telling Nick about how some of the courtroom stuff. I get it. You want to be funny. This is a more comedic show than others, but you still exist in a world where civil war happened, where where law is serious, right? Where legal stuff is serious, and you've got lawyers doing magic tricks in a courtroom. You've got lawyers putting their feet up on desks and stuff like, or not lawyers, but plaintiffs, defendants, whatever, putting feet on the tables and stuff like. No, it takes it out of the MCU a bit too much in some of those scenes where you're just like, this is still 616 for the MCU, you know, that it's rough, and this is such a mistake that there's no way you would even maintain your position. There's no way you would maintain I don't even think you could maintain your license. Like, this is so I can't even say the word. This is so messed up. It's one of those. So we'll see. But it was a better episode than the last 2 or 3. So take that for what you will.
I'm not
we'll
saying
see how
much.
the finale is. Anything else to talk about today, Manny?
No, there's something I do want to talk about, but it's more of a Friday Frights thing anyway. Right?
Awesome.
So, and it's not like it's going to age well. Just to give you a little preview. There's moms in Texas who are making a big old stir about watching Hocus Pocus 2 because you are conjuring spells in your house.
Oh,
and it's
always.
And it's getting national attention.
Yay! Are we heading for another satanic panic? That'll be just loads of fun.
And so it'll be fun to talk about that. I'll just leave it there. And then yeah, I think that was one of the other few things I wanted to mention, just because it just seems like a really funny idea. And then yeah, I think that's about it. It's quite a day.
Yeah, New York Comic-Con is going on.
Yes,
I'm sure
it is.
Manny and I will talk about the Mario trailer as well. I should have a reaction for you guys today after the Nintendo Direct and the New York Comic-Con event go off. So yeah, if you want to see our reaction, subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's anime reactions on AVR Squared here on the Genreverse Podcast Network on YouTube. Christine and I are trying out a few new anime. We're going to try to record as many first episodes episode reactions to everything that we're trying until we find the one to add to our already scheduled Spy Family and Chainsaw Man reactions and reviews. We've got genre shot trailer reactions, game streams, trying to get those going more often. Anime-Versal Reviews, already talked about them. The Cantina doing and or Marvel Multiverse Mayhem doing 2 episodes this week with She-Hulk and Werewolf by Night, which hits on Friday. Daily COG and Breaking Geek Radio hold down everything else that's not got a specific show. Rings of Powers covered on review of the rings. All of our podcasts go up in audio format on all your favorite apps like Google, Spotify, Apples, and Apples. I almost said the SoundCloud thing again because I was doing that for years. Sounders, where we distribute now. Stitcher's another place that we are available. All that and more goes up on the website lrmonline.com. Celebrity interviews, written reviews, news articles, and more. So yeah.
Cool.
Bye.